Indeed, it's a great honor and privilege for IIT Kanpur to invite and welcome Professor K. Vijayaraghavan as the chief guest for its 61st Institute Foundation Day celebration.
Chairman of the Board of Governors, Dr. Radhakrishnan, Director IIT Kanpur, Dr. Abhay Karandikar, Deans, faculty members, students, staff, and everyone associated with IIT Kanpur on the 61st Foundation Day. It's a great pleasure and honor for me to be here today. I wish I were there in person for a variety of reasons. In 1970, as a 16-year-old, I came to Kanpur and I was astounded by the welcoming atmosphere over there. It was the first time away from home, yet faculty members, students, the canteen staff, the mess workers, everyone else treated the new coming students as friends and part of a family. Indeed, this informal atmosphere permeated through all the lectures and the laboratories. The faculty members were then only slightly older than final year students, and the atmosphere was informal and one of a desire to learn and a feeling that anything could be done. This was a very invigorating atmosphere compared to what I heard about colleges and universities elsewhere in the country. Today, we have many IITs, many other colleges, and many universities in the country, and many of them have learned that the culture of the place, the environment, the atmosphere are as important, sometimes even more important than what you teach. I will very briefly summarize four different aspects of what I think are important about IIT Kanpur going ahead. The first is what I've alluded to a little bit, the past. The second is about the present and what we need to do in this current situation. The third is about the future and how we can do what we need to do. And finally, what the role of alumni in particular needs to be. IIT Kanpur's past was very special because it grew up in a partnership through the Kanpur Indo-American program through a consortium of US universities. In that way, it was distinctive from all the other IITs. And it had a very special environment, which was the envy of all the other IITs, and I've alluded to that a little bit. But that informal environment had another very important characteristic. Even though we were trained as electrical engineers or chemical engineers or mechanical engineers, there were some important features of our education which stood out. The first 3 years of a 5-year program, we had what is called an engineering science program, which combined both basic science, physics, chemistry, mathematics, but also we learned engineering in every other discipline, including what we were supposed to specialize in. So we had programs in electrical engineering, in mechanical engineering, in chemical engineering, in fluid mechanics, no matter what you did. This meant that when you went to your 4th and 5th year and took your departmental courses, you could actually go out in the world in theory and do anything you wanted. In theory. In practice, there was something very interesting which happened. Lectures were not compulsory to attend, and tutorials were also, attendance was very poorly enforced. The grading system was such that you could do a reasonable job throughout the semester and get by reasonably well, and therefore, this resulted in a very strange situation where many of us didn't go to many of the lectures where we would have learnt a lot, surely, but hung out in canteens and discussed and talked all sorts of things, including the lectures, with those who came back from attending the lectures and those who were very rigorous. So the community was divided broadly into two sets of people, those who did a lot of hard work and attended the lectures and understood everything, or were so brilliant that they didn't need to attend the lectures, and others who stayed in the canteens most of the time and interacted with these people. These mixture of these two sets of people, those who were gregarious and who interacted with society at large and didn't pay attention to their studies sufficiently, and others who paid a lot of attention, resulted in a friendship and a camaraderie which has lasted for decades since people graduated. The result of that is that this community has a deep bonding, and whenever something needs to be done, they can call on each other to do it. But also, they have a sense of daring that they have friends who know everything or friends who know something very well whom they can call. And this has actually been very, very important for IIT Kanpur and indeed for colleges such as this all over the world. The result of this bonding was also something else, that because we interacted a lot with each other, including with postgraduate students, importantly, as undergraduates, we were exposed to research in a substantial way. Many students then, and I'm sure now also, work in research laboratories as during the summers as well as during the regular semesters. And this was, again, very, very important in allowing us to get a sense of the real world. It has been said that many of our engineers don't learn engineering because of this. They actually learn science and are not very suitable as engineers. Now, these kinds of opinions, be that as they may, they can be actually tested historically to see what kinds of jobs graduates have taken. And indeed, it is very impressive to see that while, as the apocryphal stories would have it, many people finish IIT Kanpur engineering courses and go on to do management and take on management roles. Many, many people have gone on to take hardcore engineering jobs and have done really well. With the advent of science courses in the undergraduate areas, many have done really well and they've gone on to become really top quality physicists, chemists, biologists, and so on. So IIT Kanpur overall has done well, but today it faces extraordinary challenges. Because of its location in Kanpur, that's part of the reason, but also because other institutions, other cities have come up really well, the competitiveness of IIT Kanpur compared to the other IITs in particular and other institutions in general needs to be maintained. This is not just because one is in a race or any such thing. It's always nice to be at the top, but also it's important to challenge oneself constantly. So today we have a very important question. What can we do today to make IIT Kanpur the most attractive place? Indeed, each institution must ask of itself this question, but we in IIT Kanpur need to ask it and answer it in a very special context. One of the characteristics of many of our top institutions, the best ones, is that they can be said to be a short walk from India. They are islands of excellence, of quality. People from all over India come in, but the connectivity to the immediate outside is not substantial. This is not a peculiarity of IIT Kanpur. Indeed, it's a feature of top institutions all over the world. So it's not something to be particularly ashamed of. But given that we are in India and given the scale of the challenges India faces, it's important that IIT Kanpur addresses what is outside, and what is outside, both immediately outside and what is outside in the country in general. The challenges the country faces today, highlighted by the COVID pandemic, relate to climate change, biodiversity, and the environment in particular, but also to human habitation, cities, and quality of life. In all of these, there is extraordinary scope for engineers to work in substantial ways, not just in government programs, but in industry and in the private sector and in multiple areas. The reason I say that is the solutions to many of our problems lie in a combination of science, engineering, sociology, economics, and politics, and their intersection. And these intersections are very, very important. But at the heart of all these intersections are our ability to pay today for the cost of maintaining a quality environment. All too often, over the last few decades of the Industrial Revolution, we have postponed payment for costs which we incur by charging the environment or by affecting the climate or by affecting quality of life, and we push these costs onto future generations. The result is that we have quality goods at cheap prices today, but quality of life is very poor and the devastation of the environment is very high. This needs to be changed. So I'll come now to how we can change this. We can change this by doing 2 or 3 things together. First of all, we need to think a little broader beyond ourselves. Given that you have come into IIT Kanpur and given that you're, getting such a quality education, no matter what background we come from, we immediately become very, very privileged. No matter what happens, you're very likely to have a reasonable quality of life and a reasonable salary. So, this gives us the opportunity to think beyond ourselves because our basal income is relatively assured. That and the network which we have by being from this place, from IIT Kanpur, affords a possibility of our doing wonderful things for the country and for the earth as a whole. And therefore, I would urge that we take on big missions of various kinds. The globe has seen in science and technology enormous big missions such as CERN, the Square Kilometre Array Telescope, the 30-meter telescope, the Laser Interferometric Gravitational Observatory, and all of these inspire us. But today, people from IIT Kanpur and IIT Kanpur itself must lead other kinds of missions. And these missions are of the following kind. First, a mission in biodiversity, understanding all the biodiversity in India, cataloging it, finding out how it is getting degraded, and how one can sustain it. This is not just a science problem. This is not just a stamp collecting problem, but because it involves human interaction, it involves the study of engineering, societies, science and technology, and everything else. In particular, the second part is a major mission on the Ganga. And that mission should look up not just cleaning the Ganga, but understanding its ecology, its origin, its spread, and its going into the seas, and understanding every aspect of this from a science, technology, sociology, and environmental aspects. These are big projects, these are global projects, but these are projects which IIT Kanpur can take up. The third aspect relates to health. Human health is much more complicated than only, and importantly, of course, providing health care to everybody. But there are a huge number of preventive measures in lifestyle and understanding how the environment and our genetic background affects the progression of human disease and health. Now, this again is actually a combination of a science and engineering problem in multiple ways, and this too is something which we should take up. The final aspects of a big mission, I would suggest, is much more complicated, much more difficult, but eminently doable by an institute like IIT Kanpur, which is developing our cities into livable structures. Kanpur provides an extraordinary example. For those who have joined Kanpur in 1970 and go there again today, many aspects are different, but many aspects remain the same. The tempos have changed in their size and the way where they're manufactured. There are shopping malls, but essentially the city hasn't changed at all. And this is a very big challenge. How does one change a city as complex as Kanpur to make it a modern city in which all its poorest citizens have a quality of life which is reasonable? And that's a responsibility we have. So this is an engineering, sociology, economics, political problem of a huge kind. And if this is taken on as a global mission in a similar manner to what a high energy physics global mission is taken up or an astronomy mission is taken up, it will take time. It'll be an ongoing project forever. But this will be a symbol of how cities can change for the better, and it'll be a model to be emulated all over the world. Finally, all of this cannot happen unless we have our alumni participating fully. One of the interesting features of our alumni early on, when the institute was young, in the 70s and 80s, most alumni were young, and even when they did well and when they became rich, they were ambitious and thinking more about themselves. These same people, when they're much older, are much more self-confident, much more generous, and yet come with a huge amount of wisdom and experience. So it's not that they just give, but they also come as excellent managers. So tapping alumni for multiple roles as managers, as donors, as people who can get the best minds to come and interact from all over the world will allow these big missions to fructify and do well. Kanpur is a place which has got a heart. I mean, it's a city. The city has a heart, it is generous, it is loving, it welcomes people from everywhere. This is contrary to the general impression outside about Kanpur. IIT Kanpur also is a very, very special place. And I say this not because I'm an alumnus of IIT Kanpur, but having visited other institutions all over the country and indeed all over the world, the community of IIT Kanpur has within it a special bonding which you rarely see anywhere else in the world. This combination of being a city which has a heart but which needs change, of all the attitudes you have inside IIT Kanpur, and a fantastic community of alumni means that any problem is solvable. Thank you very much.